he just, I don't know, something about these boys. They love the clockiness sometimes. Like, there's no shame. I'm just like, but I'm glad he lived for it more when I started developing. I'm glad he was like that because if
Yeah,
he,
some of them, some of them will switch up on you real quick, honey.
but some of them go with the flow and they accept the news. So I was glad with that with him. But to this day, like, he, he, because I'm with a trans man, so he was kind of like when he basically when he knew who I was with. And mind you, it wasn't like I was going behind my man's back and talking to him. Like I was telling him, I'm like, this boy from da 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 da, like he's hitting me up or whatever. He was like, oh really? He's like, well, who's this person? I was just like, he's such and such from way back when. And he was like, okay. And this boy was getting so like, oh, like
See, you with one of my trans brothers now. I feel like I'm going to end up catching you up in the tangle. Sis, I'm good at catching a bitch up in the tangle on the live, girl. And I don't want to catch you up in the tangle on the live, but we gonna run it, honey.
what tango? Talk to me.
We're going to introduce you to the peoples. First of all, give the folks. You already told us that you're the girls, that you're the door. Give us your name. What's your name, sis? Give the people
Darling, you want my government or you want my nickname?
whatever you want the public to know.
My name is Jolly, Jolly Aaliyah, but just Jolly for short.
Where are you? How old are you, and where are you at? Where are you hitting us from?
I'm 21. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, but I just said New York for anyone who doesn't know. But no, I'm not. I'm not from New York.
What's your zodiac?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, I get along with Scorpios. I know they be giving y'all the fever, but I get along with Scorpio. And you told us that you were a trans man. Now you was telling us about an experience with a this man, but how do you identify as far as sexual orientation?
I say, you know, before they had transition, it's kind of like I guess you could say it was like a lesbian thing, but I never gave that. I would say that I just like what I like. I don't call myself pansexual because I'm not gonna hold you. Maybe I'm not educated enough on pansexual, but when they say like they don't discriminate against like because of gender or whatever, blah blah blah. I'm not saying I discriminate, but I don't like everything under the rainbow. Like I
But
like what I like what I like, and I'm picky.
don't claim pansexual. I got some pansexual brethren, sister, and othering out here that's just trying to recruit every motherfucking body.
Hmm. And I
Okay.
don't claim it because I'm not saying I discriminate, but I don't like everything. Like I don't.
And it's no shade. It's no shade. We all have our preferences. We're not meant to all like the same thing, because if we all like the same thing, then we all be chasing the same thing. It's bad enough that most people's preferences the same motherfucking thing. But anyway, girl, what do you do for a living, sis? What do you do? You out here strolling? You posting ads? What's going on?
No. So I I used to do some work. Um I've thought about it recently. Am I gonna do it? Probably not. I just got my ID changed. So, you know,
Congrats.
I did cut my hair. I'm not even gonna hold you. I've been getting mistaken for like a stem or like a butch. Like yeah, so I make sure I do my face really nice. I wear my long earrings when I go to certain places because I just cut my hair off because I just wanted to try something else.
You said that you in the tri-state. Is it transphobic in the area that you in?
No, it's not. It's not that it's transphobic. I mean, it's supposed to be like very liberal over here. When they say that New York is accepting, I feel like it's more so like they just know it's a lot of us here. I don't think it necessarily means that like they're cool with it, like, but as of now, like I haven't been working in like a year, but I am in school, but I've been finishing my associates right now, but I just redid my resume, so I am gonna start applying for jobs again.
What what you studying? What's your focus with your associates?
It's liberal arts.
Yes,
Um,
I don't know if you've seen my video, but I recommend that if you're not sure what you want. want to do.
Yeah,
Know that you want to start school. Just get a liberal arts degree, baby.
for sure. That's what I got. I got 2 classes left. After this semester, I have 2 more classes, and then I'm supposed to be getting my liberal arts associates. But then on top of that, um, this summer I wanted to get a certification this summer.
Okay, now we got to get into the tea. I'm a relationship counselor, honey. So I
Hmm.
about love. I got to
Oh
get
wait, okay.
I got to get into your business a little bit. Now we know that you have a partner, trans male. How long have y'all been together?
Like 2 years.
Yeah, that's cute. How long were you single before y'all met?
I was my whole life.
Oh yeah, you did. You said the only person that you really dated was the one DLPs.
No,
Um,
I talked to people in high school, but like this is a guy that I knew outside of it was like outside of high school. Like I was fresh out of high school.
do you wanna get married? Do you see yourself getting married and having kids?
I do. Yeah.
Is your partner on the same page?
Mhm.
Yes. How old? You told us that you're 21, right?
Mhm.
How old is your man?
27.
Oh, you got an older piece. You got a
Wait, hold on. I got to ask the question though. I had thought I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not saying I'm not cool to like talk about stuff, but like what was the life about? Cuz I just joined cuz I was like, "Oh, let me talk to her." Like
Oh, I was just asking. I'm asking everybody who come up their experiences. What is the
okay. That all right, that's fine. I just wanted to know cuz I don't want to get too deep,
baby?
but
If I ask you anything, feel free to pass. But I ain't
okay.
ask you nothing that's gonna fuck you up. I
No, yeah, no. I'm good. Yeah, he's
promote the
27,
trans
I'm
love,
21.
honey. I want to promote the trans love of it all.
We do need to.
Yes.
What else?
How did y'all meet? How did y'all meet?
We met on a lesbian dating app.
And that's funny because I'm on a lesbian dating app as well, and I've always been curious on other trans women's experiences on there. Like overall, how was your experience on the lesbian
So
outside of him?
when I have, what you mean? What? Say that again.
I said outside of him, what was your experience like on lesbian dating apps?
Okay, so mind you, I had been, I had been out for 1 year. I had been out since I was 17,
How this
but
trans?
yeah, but I didn't get on Moans till like literally when I like a week, like 2 weeks after my 19th birthday. And the funny part is, I was just in like I was just on that baby trans stuff. Like I'm just like, oh, like like I'm gonna just wear a wig or whatever and just call it a day and like I'm gonna just be cute. Like no. Anyways, long story short, when I had gotten the dating app though, I was only like 6 months on hormones. I still had mass double. I was still getting laser. I was still like very like it was a little clocky, to be honest. Like, I'm just being honest with myself. It was a clocky, but I was past it enough for the profile pics. But when people would hit me up, I would get my life a little bit, but then I would tell them. But it was really good reactions, surprisingly. But we had the occasional, and it was so funny because I'm not saying that women can't be like whatever, but it was this one masculine woman, and she was going in, like she wanted to take me out. Like it was just, I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like some of these men, they not getting something right. Like I don't know like why they think like coming over to like Fuma is like a freaking like a date. I'm just like, anyways, they were trying to take me out. They wanted to do like flowers, like the whole nine, like everything sweet. But long story short, when I had told her, she was like, "Oh nah, like you one of those, like you's a man in a freaking wig, like blah, 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 blah."
Not
So
Not one of the transphobic.
It was good.
I-
But
that's
mind you, I had got mad because I had got mad and I told her, I was just like, Miss Thing, I know you're not talking like you a full-time cross-dresser. Like, please. Like,
out. Clock out.
I was just I'm just saying because if you're not on Moans, then it's like, and I'm not saying you're
out.
a crossdresser, but I'm saying by transphobic people's standards, by bigotry standards, like you were just a crossdresser. Like it
Oh,
is what it is. Like,
you know I'm here.
and long story short, I had mostly good experiences. I had the occasional transphobic women. And I also had some, it was very weird. I had some like just full blown men be on the app and they were on that type of time where they wanted to like, they want to turn out a stud or whatever. They want to try and find a,
Bots.
like,
And block instant block. No shade. If you're any if I'm on a queer app and anything on your profile says anything about being straight, blocked, blocked. I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them.
but it went well overall. Like even when I started texting them, well, they texted me actually. Let's get it straight. They
Talk
texted
about
me.
your current partner.
Yeah.
He hit you up first.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
They messaged me, and it was the whole, hey, what you doing? La, 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 la. We started talking, and I don't know why I was just getting the idea that they weren't catching on to like my profile because I had it, mind you, because on like Tinder, like when it's with cis men, like I don't be saying nothing sometimes because I want a chance of not attracting the weirdos, but still getting a chance to see if I can connect with someone and like not wait too long, but also not tell them right away because it's just like, because the dynamic of the conversation changes instantly. It's like one of four different things. But anyways, I had it on the profile on the app, and I feel like they weren't catching on. And I was like, oh, like such and such, like since I transitioned or whatever, and they're like, oh, transition. They're like, what do you mean? And I was just like, you know, I was like, did you read my profile? And they're like, oh, I read it. Like, I just read it now. And they're like, oh, so are you like, I'm like, yes, I am. And it was so funny because they had said some foolishness, not to be mean, but it was just some foolish stuff that came out their mouth. And I was just like, oh, nah. Like, I was like, if you're going to keep talking to me, like, you got to take that back and apologize and
So
fix it.
I'm assuming based on what you're saying, I'm assuming that your man transitioned since y'all knew each other.
Hmm.
Let me find out you introduced him to the possibility that he was trans.
Let me tell you this. So long story short, it was a little rocky, but overall, like I he told me because he just grew up like just a masculine. I don't want to say the word because there's some people who don't get offended by the word because over here in New York they
The
use that. They
right,
don't care.
the D
They
word.
they they say the D word over here. They do not care. But I know people in this conversation like I'm gonna just say masculine women. But just
Mhm.
know that's how we talk and that's how they identified before. They didn't use the whole stutter or like any of that stuff. They said it was either AG or just the D word. But
Mhm.
long story short, they would tell me like I got them so into it. Like now they know what femme queen is. They know what key is. They know every single little thing. Like and but at the beginning they were just like they didn't know that trans women weren't just men in wigs. Like I'm not saying like I'm not saying that like every trans woman is like the most passable thing ever, but
But
he was able to conceptualize that passing didn't inherently mean like man in a dress. Like you could tell when it's real. Like and I know that might sound kind of like you can tell when it's real, but I feel like it takes one to know one. Like you could tell when it's like genuine. But
mhm.
long story short, like I had educated him on that because he didn't really understand that. He said growing up, like he always just like it was just always. This is him admitting to me. He was just like it was always the butt of the joke or whatever. Like even like a lot of the lesbian girls, they would still be kind of like or whatever. Like he didn't really get none of that stuff. But he would tell me when we got to know each other, he said that like some of his stories, like trying to like fool girls as a kid. And I told him, I was like, that's some freaking trans shit. Like, that's not. I'm just. I feel like a lot of people are trans. I wouldn't call them a full on like transsexual, but a lot of them are very trans masculine and feminine in their ways, and they don't acknowledge it.
There's definitely people who are on the trans spectrum but aren't admittedly on the trans spectrum.
Hmm.
I immediately thought about Jeffree Star talking crazy about they them pronouns when he looks like the definition of a they them pronoun.
That's what we already know. We already know people like Jeffrey. It's no shame. Like Jeffrey,
We
Jeffrey,
will give
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey no more airtime. But I appreciate
Hmm.
you for coming up, Jolly. You're gonna have to come when you see me on live again. I got some people waiting in the queue.
That's fine. It
So,
was lovely talking to you.
but thank you for coming up and sharing your story with us, honey.
Of course. You have a good night.
You too, love. Hey, honey.
Hey, mamas, what's going on?
I'm doing well. I'm doing much better now that you're here. How you doing?
Okay, how do I turn this on? Oh,
Got
here we go.
the camera on?
Hey.
Hey, our hair out today, honey.
Yeah, I just had to take my bonnet off. I was deep conditioning my hair.
For all the kids who don't know you, give them your name, honey.
You said what now?
For all the kids who don't know you, give them your name.
Oh, I'm Jasmine Butterfly, and that's my legal name, just
Mm.
so we're clear.
Also, for the ballroom scene kids, you're Jasmine Ebony, right? Or formerly Jasmine.
Granny Ebony. I started ballroom when I was 45, 2014.
I didn't realize that. For whatever reason, I just put you as being there the whole time.
Oh no, no, I haven't been there. Everybody thinks I've been there a long time, but yeah, yeah, I started when I was 45. Because I'm also too in the tri-state area. I'm in Pennsylvania, so in specifically Pittsburgh. So we didn't have. I mean, we didn't have ballroom here. All we had was drag shows and pageants. So that's where I focused my time.
Okay,
Um,
and see, sometimes I conflate the two. I assumed that when you were involved in drag and pageants, I assumed you were doing both.
oh, okay, no. I didn't even. The only thing reference I had to ballroom was Paris is Burning.
Funny until 2014. So I discovered ballroom before I got involved in ballroom before you did, before your time.
Hmm.
That's funny to me.
But it's like I've always, but it's not like it's like I've always been there though.
You just fit.
Yeah, like I know all the old heads, everybody, like, and then even when I go to balls, people are like, "Well, whose mother or auntie is that?" Ah,
I know.
I said, I said, "No, I'm
I,
at Ebony." And they said, "What?"
I gotta ask you a question, Jasmine. I gotta ask you the question. Have you had your own experience with the DLs, dating the DL?
Oh, hell yeah, girl. But see, our DLs, see, in my generation, because I started my transition in '92, and I was 23. And the DL men back in them days were a lot different than the ones that are out now.
How so?
So it's been like a whole learning curve for me,
How
you
so?
know.
How were they different back then?
Well, the DL men were, and I know, just forget everything about today's lingo and what's politically correct and all that. Go back to my era. and all the DL men were tops. But I think because of these new DL men, maybe all those supposedly top DLs weren't really tops. Maybe they were just faking the funk
or
when they
maybe
really wanted something different, you know.
or maybe they assumed that femininity equated sexuality, and maybe they assumed that you being super feminine that you were automatically um that you would want a top. Maybe they were just trying to be what you wanted, you think, maybe?
Maybe, maybe.
Because I
But because I did have occasional men like, okay, well, my turn. And I'm like, what? You know how the record scratches?
what, sir?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And then and I yes, I used to be a hoe. I was a big hoe. But see, in those days, the validation for your femininity equated how many tricks you could pick up.
Mm, Jasmine. Oh my God, board unlocked. I never even considered that concept. I never even considered the idea of the girls using dates, using tricks, using Johns as a way to like measure
Right.
or compete.
Exactly.
Mm.
I
Wow.
look yellow over here. Let me see. Okay.
Wow. Consider, and speaking of that, since we're talking about dates, would you would you say that all of the dates that you came across in your experience as a sex worker, would you say that they were all DL?
No, because I actually dated. I mean, I was with men who liked everything. I was with. We had a bar here actually called Skylights, and it was a very known swingers bar. That's when swingers were really popular. And I guess a lot of people were just in boring marriages or whatever, and they were looking for things to spice up their life. Because I would always get hit on. There was not a gay bar in the '90s that I did not get free drinks at.
So you said so this place that you're talking about, you said it's called Skylight.
It was, yeah, it was called Skylights. It's a strip club now, a
It was
male
it was
gentleman's club.
it was a gay swingers bar or a
No, it was a mixed bar. Like in the '90s, we had those bars that were like mixed. Like a little bit of everything was in there.
we,
Especially like in New York City and the big club, big cities, there was always like those mixed bars,
yeah, we
where there's a little bit of everything up in there.
yeah, that's how Baltimore still is. Um wow. So are you telling me that like sometimes you would have a date that would involve like a couple?
Well, I would always get approached. I always got approached.
Wow. And so you're saying that sometimes you would have dates or you would have Johns that were like butch queens that were like gay guys?
I think they really were. I mean,
Or
because I started out as a gay boy. So, and I could just, and it takes one to know one. That childhood said it takes one to know one. Like you were talking about, well, another trans can tell another trans, even if they haven't transitioned. But I knew just by I could just tell. I was like, why don't you just come out the closet? I had a confession. A guy just like picked me up and wanted to talk. I love those kind of dates. I didn't have to do shit and still got paid. I just was like a therapist.
okay, honey, I get those kind of dates. Now, honey, we call it counseling sessions. Wow, that's fun. So I know because of talks that we've had recently that you don't really date much these days. But
Mm-mm. I'm asexual.
hypothetically, do you still seek companionship though?
Not at all.
I want to get you and a few other people in my life have said the same thing. I'm scared to get that way, but a part of me wants to be that way. Um, But hypothetically, could you see yourself, or even in your past, had you ever taken like a DL guy seriously?
I wanted to because I always felt, because for me, my femininity depended on how masculine he was.
No, I get it. I get it, and I see it all the time. It's funny because pre-transition, that's how I was as a boy. Like I wanted more masculine guys to validate my femininity, but then when I became a woman, it was like whole sexuality just flipped on its head. I don't know if it's the estrogen or what. No, so I get it. I get it. Jasmine, any thoughts you want to leave us with? Because I'm about to get off of here. Any
Oh,
thoughts
okay.
leave us with regarding the DLs?
No, just leave him alone. I mean, if you just want to have a one night stand and all that, put a notch in your belt and say, "Oh, I had him," girl, um, then otherwise just leave him alone because um, it's not worth it at the end because it'll just end up breaking your heart
I agree.
because they're not ready to be that man that you think that you need or want.
I agree.
Wait and find somebody that really wants to stand up and be that man that you want and need. Because
Eh,
you're worth so much more than that. It's better to be single and alone than going through all that bullshit.
hallelujah. Let the church say amen.
Hallelujah.
Thank you for
All right, girl. Well, thanks for having me on.
anytime I'm on here, you know you welcome.
Okay.
Bye for now. Yes, honey. So the consensus is no DLs. The wrap up for Monday night on Instagram and on TikTok is apparently no DLs. No, 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 no DLs. Welcome in Uganda. Oh, you want to come up? You want to come up? Oh, sis, yes. Let's see what this guy said before I roll out. Let me see if you got it. I don't know why they won't let you up, sis. Sis, is you banned? Can you come up, sis? They won't allow me to let you up. Sis, what happened? They done got you banned. Sis, they won't let me let you up. I don't know why. I keep clicking on your name. Try to send me a request to see if you can come up. 7. You know you gotta ask. You know you gotta ask on this app, honey, because you know they'll ban you if you say your name, honey. Oh, sis, C7. I was right. They banned Anastasia. Damn, sis. Mm, that's crazy. Uh, Anastasia, come on, meet me on IG next Monday evening. I gotta eat me something. I gotta eat me something, honey. I gotta eat me something. Come on IG next Monday evening, honey, and we could definitely pick up the pieces of this conversation, honey. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Smitty. What's going on, my friend? Thank you, Magpie. Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love. Yes, Magpie. Yes, we are all good. I know. I remember you asking me about or trying to come up on live one time. I was on live. I ended up clocking out. Magpie, we all good. I just wanted you to know that, by the way, honey. We all good. I definitely understand how the nerves can work. I definitely understand how it can work having kids when it's time to go live. We all good, love. We all good. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you. Smitty, you gonna have to come up on here one time when I'm up on here. I know your situation on IG. And honey, I don't want to start no trouble. Yes, Tanisha. Tanisha, come up on IG. I'm on IG every Monday at 8. I don't schedule a time to come up on here anymore because ain't no telling if I'm gonna be banana or not. But yes, IG 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, everybody that supports the bitch. Peace, love, and blessings to y'all. Hi. I love it here.